Hi, my name is Kari and I'm the product architect here at FieldSync. What I'd like to go over with you today is some functionality related to our logs data entry within FieldSync. Now, logs are used by many of our customers for those one-off situations where you need to document data about a specific event, about an inspection, a shift log, those types of things that are not necessarily scheduled or consistently reoccurring, whereas tasks and the data entry of the tasks is geared more towards those scheduled events. So what I'd like to do first is go into the settings area and show you how to set up logs so that your staff can go in and start collecting data using the logs module. So I'm logged in as an admin user and I've selected the settings tab, and now I'm going to come in here to the logs tab, and this is where we manage all of the different log types. Now keep in mind, if you'd rather label this module something different, let's say you want to call it data collection forms or incident logs, then you can go into our labeling section here and make those changes. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I wanted to show you a few examples of some different logs that you can create within log type. So you can see here I have a whole list of different ones that I've created. I can do anything from collecting time card information to capturing authorization or sign off on vacation. I can use logs to track information for medical appointments. If I am taking staff or my family members to a medical appointment, I can capture incident reports, shift logs, home inspections. The opportunities are endless. And because of the flexibility that you have within FieldSync and within the logs, you can really create almost any form that you are currently using in this module and allow your staff to start collecting that information almost immediately. So I'm going to go in and look at an example here. Let's use Timecard as an example. The first thing you'll want to indicate is the name of your log type. This is what's going to show up in the drop-down list, so make it something that's easily recognizable by your staff. Second, you can set the access rights to your staff. So depending on what the log type is, you may or may not want all of your users to be able to add and view logs of that type. For each log type, you can also set up notifications that will be sent out each and every time a log of this type is created either on the mobile application or on the web. So you can indicate one or more email addresses and one or more phone numbers to send SMS notifications to. So in the Timecard example, you may want an email notification to go to HR so that they are notified that you've completed a time card. They can log into FieldSync and take a look at it and process the payroll. Within logs, you also have different priority levels. So you have critical, high, medium, and low. What this allows you to do is to indicate which of those priority levels you would like notifications to go out. In the example of time card, let's say you want every single log of this type to send a notification. So you would come in here and select all of those different priority levels so that you can guarantee that the email notification will go out. In this section, you can indicate some settings that will be applied when you create a PDF version of this log. So you can add a header image if you'd like, which could be your company logo. You can add a title and do some formatting related to that, and you can also add a footer. Maybe you want to say confidential information only. So you can indicate those settings here. Every time a time card log is generated or printed, you will see that same information. And then finally, we have our configurable fields. So there's a whole other set of videos regarding configurable fields, but this is where you can customize the form based on each log type. So as I talked about for your different forms that you might have, this is where you would go through and kind of rebuild those forms to capture the data that you would like. For my time card example, I have a time in and a time out. Those are both date and timestamp fields. And I can also set those as required. So what that means is that when my staff goes in to enter data, they will not be able to save the record until they have filled out that information. I can also do a text display to indicate acknowledgement, and then I can capture the signature. So I'm going to save that log type. And to show you what that would look like to your staff members when they're doing the data collection, I'm going to go over to the mobile application. So here I am. I can select logs and tap on new. I'm going to choose my customer Bob. So I'm going to select my time card type. And for each of the logs, you can see here that we have that priority level that I talked about. I'll just leave it at low, which is the default. The date of the log, this will always default to today's date. You can select the time. It's not required, but you can do that. For title, you can go ahead and put something in here that is an identifier. So maybe I want to say morning shift. So I'll put that there as my title. Note I don't have to put anything in there. So here you can see my configurable fields now. I can select time in. Once I hit the set button, it's going to set that time and date, and I can't change it, which is a perfect example for a time card. I can indicate my timeout. And now you can see my acknowledgement here. And then I will sign my time card and hit save. So now as soon as I hit sync, that information is going to come back up to the web, and I will be able to go into the logs area, and here I can see the time card entry that was made. I'll select view. There's the time in and the time out. Morning shift is the title. My signature that was captured. And then just to show you the print view, I can select print here. And this displays the log type in a format where I can export to PDF or I can print it. Now keep in mind that you can also do log data entry on the web application as well. So I'll go in here to settings, and let's just take a quick look at another log type that I've created called home inspection. Under home inspection, I've got a basic floor plan, which is an image display type. I have a numeric field, some additional signature fields, text entry. So when I go into logs, I can select add a new log, just like I do on the mobile, choose a customer, choose a type, so I'll choose home inspection, and now you can see down here that my configurable fields are displayed, and I can go through and enter data just as though I were using a paper form. That covers the basic functionality of the logs module within FieldSync. As you can see, it's a very valuable feature that we have within our product, really allowing you the flexibility to recreate the paper forms that you might be using in your organization today and capture that data in a digital format that can get back to the back office and processed and looked at and reported on easily and quickly. So if you have any additional questions about logs, please don't hesitate to give us a call. Thank you.